All right, welcome back to the Run.down post-game show. Knicks look to enter the new year on a positive high note. Winning tonight 108 to 88 versus the young and inexperienced Houston Rockets. Knicks finally took advantage of an opponent that they should have handled business against. And they took care of business and they came out and dominated. After the first quarter, I mean, to start things off, the first quarter was pretty rough. Allowing Houston to shoot out, what was it, like 8 of 12 from three or whatever it was in the quarter. After that, the Knicks kind of like really shut things down. As well as Houston just getting generally cold from three as they were just unremarkably hot. And then from there, I mean, the Knicks, they kind of just cruised to a win. I mean, guys got their numbers, and into the new year for the first time above 500 since 2012 2013, that magical season. um I mean, where do we want to start things off in this one?
It just feels good to not be losing anymore.
Yes, the 5 game losing streak is over finally. The last 2 games I was terribly ill for, so I just shut them off as soon as it got ugly and just started like watching a show or whatever because like I didn't have to do post game.
Son,
But yeah,
watching them get spanked up in person.
poof, that must have been ugly.
Son, bro, I got the good seats too. Like
Oh,
I made sure to not get the fucking stink seats, and I was like, I bet this is gonna be a good game. They gonna find their mojo, and then to watch Romeo Langford and Keldon Johnson give you buckets and good seats. Oh, so I'm glad that they were able to pull it out tonight. Because if they did not pull it out tonight, I don't know how this podcast would have went.
yeah, it could have been very, very dark and gloomy.
Yeah.
Six
So
game losing streak entering the new year would not have been nice to talk about.
yeah, but at the end of the day, they're 19 and 18. I think if you would have told fans you're going to be over above 500 heading into the new year with a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense, I think a lot of fans would have signed up for that. A positive net rating, likely going to be one All Star as well on the team. I think a lot of fans would have been happy with that outcome, regardless of how it took for us to get here, the ups and downs, the roller coaster of the season that has been so far in the first half of it. Ultimately saying they're able to finish it strong. They're able to finish the month with a, I think, 9-7 record. Might be 9-7 or 9-6. 9-6 actually, yeah, 9-6. But ultimately speaking, a winning month. Uh, and a lot of contributions from the young guys in order to pull off this win. RJ and Brunson didn't play for their third straight game. RJ his second, but he got hurt in like the first minute, so really his third straight game of not playing. And I think it's got to start with the sixth man in this team, the super sub, if you may. It was quickly. I think quickly set the tone. I think quickly played very very good basketball. 27 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. If you bet quickly overs on rebounds, I know you're hold right now.
Bro,
Did you do it?
bro,
Did you
yes,
do it?
I had him in a parlay. I had him and Julius, 35 for Julius, 25 for Quick. I had 6 rebounds and 6 assists for Quick. He had 5 rebounds at one point and they took one away. I was watching the stat sheet. They took one away. And
Oh,
yeah,
damn.
so that was my only leg that missed on a parlay that was supposed to win me like, you know, a calm like $973, but something light. But
Jesus.
yeah. But yeah, I would agree quickly. He set the tone. He's been setting the tone, I think, lately with these last couple starts. I know the first start was really rough against the Mavericks, in terms of shooting at least. A lot of people were criticizing for the shooting. Me, not so much, because for me, like what he brought with passing and defensively and the rebounding, it surpassed all of that. And like I knew he was gonna make shots the next game, and lo and behold, the next game he ended up making shots. But yeah, he's been great as a starter, as most of us predicted, or at least most smart people predicted that he would be. Um, because like, what about the kid doesn't tell you that he's gonna be a good starter? Like in all the limited minutes that we've seen him play, he's been able to produce, and like when you look at the per 36 numbers, it matches up to what we've been seeing basically. So it's like
Yeah, like
there was no doubt.
the idea that he isn't a point guard at this point should be over with. I don't know if it will be, but it should be done. I mean, 7 assists tonight again. I think he's had like 29 assists to 6 turnovers in his 3 starts. That'll play. That's nearly a 5-to-1 turnover ratio. 5-to-1 turnover to assist ratio. So that'll play. The efficiency is going to be the big harping point.
For me, it's like I'm just happy that he's taking and making shots. Like all the attempts, they show that he's at least taking shots, which was something that we were all like really confused about because he was like very hesitant at certain parts. But like as we see, when he has the ball in his hands, when he is allowed to initiate, when he's given more freedom with the rock, he is able. He's going to shoot, and like he knows he has to shoot on this team now because like there's like literally no one else that's gonna make shots besides him, Randall, and Grimes. So it's like he knows he has to shoot. He's shooting now. They're going in at an okay rate, and like it's okay at this point because like literally look who's on the court. Like, do you want Deuce taking all those shots? Like
he took shots and they did not go in.
Exactly. So I mean, if you're gonna complain about Quickly and Randall's efficiency right now, I really don't think now is the time to be doing that. They are like two of our legit they're like two of our only shot makers on the court.
Like,
so it's like you have no choice.
There are 4 guys on this team who I trust offensively right now, and one of them is Evan fucking Fournier. That should tell you like where we're gonna be at until guys start getting healthy.
Yes.
So the efficiency is not what you want it to be, but at the same time, I think the process was good. I feel like he was able to get people involved, and I feel like ultimately speaking, aside from the efficiency, which is going to be the big harping point, like he played like a starting NBA point guard, and that's all you can ask for him to be. And I'm happy that the Knicks have this level of point guard on their bench because it's been rough. And at one point, they couldn't even ask for this from Quickly. So the fact that you can slot in Brunson, and then when Quickly is called upon, he can do that as well. That's a good thing to see.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I got you. But yeah, Quickly had a fantastic game. I think you also talk about Grimes as well, playing in his hometown, in front of Ma Dukes. Speaking of which, Mrs. Grimes, if you're watching, I'm single. She was fine. Don't hate. She was fine. Anyway, this is me taking my fucking three. This is my 3-point shot from the half court logo. I'm trying to get myself started for 2023. Anyway, Grimes had a really good game as well. 19 points and 15 shots, hit 3 threes, super efficient. 3 stocks. He has just been really effective in his role. He had a really rough game last going. I think it might have been from the overtime game against Dallas, and then because I was in the crowd. But otherwise, I feel like he played a really strong game, a really good game defensively. Like he did the simple Quickly things, not the quick, simple Grimes thing, which is play defense, hit his threes, be overall efficient, and that's all you can ask for him. 19 points, 15 shots, 3 threes. Typical Grimes game.
Yeah, I like this game. Of course, way better than the Spurs game.
Me too.
The Spurs game was absolutely rough, and like you said, I think it had to do with the load of minutes that was put upon him in the Dallas game. I think it just weared on him like super. I think it also might be wearing on Deuce a little bit too, which we'll get into. Maybe that's why he's missing a whole bunch of shots after he had a stretch where he was making a whole bunch of shots. But we'll get into that when we talk about Deuce. But yeah, I mean Grimes, he played a way better game today. Definitely a lot of that home cooking, was definitely on his side there. And you just hope that he can keep it up because like it feels like there's a lot of these stretches where it's like Grimes is a good game and then he has a bad game, and then he has a good game and then he has an okay game and then he has a bad game. And it's like I want to see a stretch where Grimes has like consistent Like I feel like during the win streak was when we saw a bit more of that consistent, like good to okay games, and I want to see him get back to that. Especially with like him being relied on more to score because of the injuries. So yeah, I'm just hoping that this can be the start of a new consistent streak.
Yeah, I do like him getting that responsibility though. It's good to see like what he can do. I think I don't think he's a creator. I think we could probably like put for now. I think we could put that to bed. The idea of him like being this guy who could like assume 25 usage and like take those shots. He attacks off closeouts and he plays really good defense, and that's a good role for him. Like that's not there's nothing wrong with doing that. He feels like a KCPS kind of player, and like you can't go wrong with KCP. So
I think he could be a little bit more than
I
that,
think he could be more than that, but like
just based
right
off the
now,
Mavs game. But yeah,
yeah,
right now I think it's like okay to take it a bit slow with him, but like
yeah,
we shouldn't also like discourage it just because
right.
like
It's year
we
two.
see now with him on the ball much more like we're seeing like all the potential things that can become of it.
Yeah, like it's year two, so we don't have to like really start worrying about that. But yeah, overall, another efficient game from him, another good game from him for the box score, and can't complain. He got the shot in the hometown in front of mom. Can never complain about that.
Yeah, I mean,
Think we could talk about Mitch too a bit.
yeah, definitely much better game from him too. I thought
Yeah,
after that Mavericks game where he played really well. The
20 and 15, right?
yeah, the 20 and 15 game, which I gotta say, I mean, I wasn't here for the Mavs post game because I was like dying literally, but like what the hell was up with not subbing in like Sims or anything in on that last like thing? I understand like Grimes and Deuce almost had the rebound, but like to ensure they don't even F that up at all, you put another big on the court so that way it's between Mitch and Sims to grab that board, and it's not even in the hands of two guards, basically.
I think like looking at back at it, they had no timeouts. If Luca hits the free throw, then they're up two, and there's a chance where like those one of those centers get fouled, and then they go to the free throw line, and then like Hail Mary. So like Luca was on bullshit either way. So like it's hard to be like, oh well, that can't happen
I
because
rather I rather just have two bigs out there and like let
I
them
get
handle that.
I understand that, but at the same time, like I don't think there was a wrong way to play that. And again, it was still in their hands. Like if they catch that, we're not having that conversation. But yeah, I think Mitch had a really good bounce back game. 3 blocks, 3 steals, another assist as well. 12 rebounds, 6 offensive rebounds. By the way, Mitchell Robinson assists have been cashing. Like those shits are hitting. Um, Make some free money. But yeah, I just think I think he found his groove again after that Mavs game. I think the whole team found their groove, and it's good to see him perform like that. He was a menace defensively. I feel like the first quarter was a little bit rough, but after that second quarter, the team defensively just locked in, and he
Yeah,
got
like what,
three.
3 steals and 3 blocks tonight?
Yep,
Sheesh.
yep, and like in the second quarter alone, he had 3 blocks. So like he was doing his thing.
Yeah. Yeah, he did his thing. We're gonna talk about Deuce now.
Oh, do we have to?
We do. He's the starter.
Oh, God.
Deuce, it's rough for Deuce right now. I mean, there was a point where like offensively he was all right because like he was hitting his shots and like things weren't sticking out as much. But man, when he is not making the shots, I mean, the defense is still always there, but like at this point, it's like
I don't. It wasn't. He like his closeouts have been like he's been caught napping on closeouts a few like the last couple of games, and I feel like it's been noticeable where like Deuce's man is like in the corner with a wide open three, and he's like reaching for it, and I'm like that's so undeuce like, and it's all been happening while he's been in the starting lineup essentially.
I think I don't like to like make excuses for guys, but like I really think that like how many minutes did he play against the Mavs?
I think it was 46.
Like that's a lot for a
Yeah,
guy from like the guy that was getting like 15 minutes to just be like, all right, boom, 46 off a rip.
yeah.
And like
46.
46 with like long stretches where he wasn't sitting, like, because like that was the game where basically no one sat.
Yeah,
But yeah,
46, 31 in San Antonio, and tonight he had, I think, 30,
34, 35
34.
basically.
Yeah, so the minutes are definitely going to be weird because guys are out, but at the
Hmm.
same time, like, he wasn't struggling this bad with his shots, but he was still struggling. Um, I just, uh,
And the decision making too. I mean,
he
it's
looks
not
so
quick.
he looks so tentative out there, man.
He does
Like he's thinking. You could actively see him thinking when he's like, try, like, do I shoot? Do I pass? And then like his shots just have no confidence in them.
none.
So like, I hope he finds it soon. And I think when Brunson comes back and him being able to slot into that third bench, that third guard off the bench would be really helpful for him.
Hmm.
But like,
Definitely.
there's nobody else who you really want to start right now. So I get why. So like, it kind of sucks that he's being the sacrificial lamb for the starting lineup. But he was still like a plus 17. He was still productive. The defense was there after the first quarter tonight. So I can't complain about it too much.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. All right. I mean, your guy. You want to take the lead on things for your guy?
You mean All Star, 2X All Star, soon to be Julius Randle, who once again dropped 35 points, who would have been Player of the Week if we knew how to fucking rebound and close out against the fucking Spurs. That guy, that
Mavs.
that yeah, yeah, that too. That guy who dropped 35, 12, 6 with one turnover, and that turnover was bullshit. That guy who's hit four straight three, four plus. He's had 5 straight games with 4 or more threes in a row. That guy, I don't know what else to say other than like, I told you so. I just, like, you can't say more about him offensively right now. This is the best stretch of his career by far, and he's doing it essentially at 60 true shooting every night, which is like, that's all-star shit. That's what like you pay the big bucks for, and he's not even getting the big bucks like that. He's getting like the medium bucks. So I'm like happy to see him do this. He's basically giving you 24, 10, and 5 nightly. This stretch he's been on has been electric, and it's good to see him get into this groove. Uh, he's doing it without the rest of the mid three. He's doing it with the rest of the mid three. He's just getting buckets right now, and he's in a groove, and nobody is really stopping him. So it's good to see him do this stuff. 16 free throws again. That's a career high. Yeah, what more can you say about him? He's just hooping, and
Well,
he's an all star, man. Like at this point, like he is very clearly an all star. So
I mean, the only hope is that he keeps it up and the defense keeps up at a high level. And we see where the team goes from there. From that. Um. All right, let's get into everyone's favorite part of the show before we get into comments because we do got quite a few popping
woo.
in. Um, let's see if I remember how to do this. It's been a while. All right. The NBA season is heating up. When I'm looking to get in on the action, I bet with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers can bet just $5 pregame money line on any NBA team to win their game and get $150 in free bets if they do. Check this out. Right now, everyone can earn up to a 100% boost with DraftKings stepped up same game parlays. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, place a same game parlay, and combine multiple bets like which team will win, total rebounds, and more. The more legs you add, the bigger the boost, the bigger your shot to win big. If you are like me and you miss out by one leg every time, I don't know what to tell you. I don't have any tips, honestly. Like, no matter what app you use, if you miss by one leg, I literally do not know what to tell you. that has been my experience for this month of December. Unlike Julius Randle, I have not been on a heater, so I'll leave tips to other people. Download the app now. Sign up with code TBPN. Place a $5 pregame moneyline bet on any NBA team to win their game, and get $150 in free bets if they do. That's code TBPN. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes or show description for details. All right. Let's see. Jordan Bub says IQ is him. QG is sniper. Deuce needs to find his shot. Julius is an all-star. Mitch was a beast on the boards. Please no more I Heart Rose 48 minutes because for opposing offenses, it is barbecue chicken. Yeah. That has probably been the most
Yeah.
rough and annoying thing of Fournier being back is
I
like,
hate that. I hate that lineup, dude. It's so
and he keeps
bad.
playing it.
Like he's playing good because of injury, but at the same time, it's so bad.
Yeah, I mean the limited minutes that it's on the court for are a little too much for my liking.
Like it's got to be like the net rating on that lineup's got to be atrocious. Like it's
It has to
so
be.
rough, but it's out of necessity, which really sucks.
It does. But, you know.
But I mean, I have liked Fournier in like the 15-minute role. I know he didn't shoot the best tonight, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of those shots went up in garbage time. But like in the minutes that he was playing, I feel like he was pretty effective in those minutes. I still think that Fournier could be like a 15-minute a night guy in this rotation. I think the rotation kind of needs it. I think if you're putting him next to IQ and Deuce, and he makes sense. He gives them that shot making that they need because like realistically, Deuce isn't the shot maker that you need, that they really have right now. Like Deuce isn't hitting shots. If they're gonna run the double big lineup, then you're gonna need somebody who can get in there and make shots. And realistically, Fournier is still arguably the best shooter on the team. I know that Grimes has been really good, but like Fournier shooting helps a lot, and there's a role for him. I would like to see it be utilized. I don't know if it will be when guys get healthy, but I will do anything to not have to watch double big lineups, man. Like it's so bad. It worked during the win streak, and then people realized like they can't score, and that's been a problem with the bench all year. Where like they can't score. So
well, this version of the bench lineup hasn't been used with Obi. That's something that I think would eliminate the double big and probably allow for a little bit more scoring fluidity. Because we've only seen the double big because Obi's been out, unfortunately, and Thibs doesn't want to use anyone else. I mean, he tried using RJ as the four at some points,
which I liked. I enjoyed.
I like that too, but like he also just like went away from that too, which was weird. But yeah.
Yeah, it's bad, but like they can't really do anything about it right now. But I would like to see him get those minutes because I feel like the team could use them.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's see. BN says Quickly also got fouled a lot too.
Yeah, they missed like 2 clear hits on Quickly. Like he got shoved on a shot that went in, and he got like smacked. Like he could have had like 10 free throws tonight. He only had 6, which is not bad by any stretch, but like he should have had like 10 tonight. But then again, like
he almost had another 30 ball.
Man, I would have loved to see him get another 30 ball.
The haters, they wouldn't have anything to say right now. I mean, they probably have tons to say, but I'm not hearing it.
Man, they're talking about efficiency, and they're going to talk about how he's not a real point guard, yada yada, blah blah blah. Like I don't know.
Hug Life says, Happy New Year's, y'all. Happy New Year's to everyone. The only move I care about is to optimize IQ by getting a backup 3, make do situational, and split 96 guard minutes between our 3 terrific guards.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised that might be like part of the plan with what we've heard today. We probably jump into that in a little bit, but yeah, I like that idea. Just like making dues. not really situational, but like I think just the role he's in right now is fine. I think you could like get another bench 3 though. I think you need a bench 3. And from the looks of it, if you believe the news that came out today regarding Obi Toppin, they might be looking into getting a bench 3 because according to Sean Duvernay of Heavy.com,
Who
your
of where?
your mileage may vary with if you trust their reporting, but
Who from where?
Sean Duvernay, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know if I am, but
Sean Bidet?
Sean Devaney. Devaney, I don't know. Anyway,
The name and the site do not ring a bell, so
heavy,
I will
heavy.
be very cautious with this reporting.
Apparently he's followed by like guys like Han and stuff, so who knows? But like, I don't like. I'm not gonna really. I wouldn't say I will believe it, but I'm saying I'm gonna like be a little bit skeptical and see until like I see someone like Bagley report on it.
Yeah, once Begley comes out with like a video, he has to come out with the video of him talking in like some
Bur-
obscure location.
yeah, Berman addressed it, but I don't know if that was Berman trolling
Let's try
or
Berman trolling.
which is generation of trolling. He had to give us one more for the New Year.
Dude can't leave people alone in his retirement. Like, my guy, enjoy your retirement. Like, this is what like you're trying to get away from the scene. You're like in Florida. Like, relax, my guy.
Like he has even former New York Post Knicks / tennis writer.
Like, you fully embraced it. Like, you're done. Like, why are you still bothering the people of New York City? He's the supervillain.
Never change, Bourbon. Never change.
He's a supervillain.
But apparently the Knicks have discussed deals regarding Obi Toppin with the Indiana Pacers, which is interesting to say the least.
It's weird because they already have Jalen Smith and Isaiah Jackson as their backup fours.
The thing is though, like Jalen Smith is mid and Isaiah Jackson is okay.
It's pretty good. I've seen.
Yeah, but like he's alright. Like Jalen Smith is the worst shooter in the NBA this season so far.
Really?
Yeah, he's been the worst. He's shooting 20.
Man, there was a point where he was cashing those threes over.
Yeah, like that. Like last year after he got traded, like he was good, but he's been the worst.
Today was pretty good. 9-4, 4-7, 1 of 2 from 3.
And yeah, Isaiah Jackson is shooting like he's not a shooter either. He's more of a center than like a power forward. So they're discussing Obi Toppin. Whether you want to believe that report or not, up to you. We'll see what happens in the coming days. I feel like if Bagley reports on it, then it's really close to happening because we saw that with Cam, where he reported on potentially getting Cam. We saw that with Rose. So like when it gets close to happening, Bagley usually reports on it. But yeah, I think it's interesting. I think the price that the Knicks would likely want for Obi Toppin is a first-round pick, and Indiana has 3. Indiana has their own first-round pick, which right now is 19. They have Cleveland's first-round pick, which is 25, and they have the Boston first-round pick, which is 30. Now, do I see a deal where like maybe the Knicks can trade Obi Toppin to the Pacers for the 30th pick of the draft? I could see that. Like, I could absolutely see that because he's probably not going to play for a while. Like, he's nowhere close to practicing. I think he said that himself. And like, I watched that dude try to cut. He could not cut. So I'm not expecting him back until like February.
Why'd they even say 2 to 3 weeks then? Like, why even say
I think that was for like to make sure that like the bone was healing, but like a fractured fibia, like he's gonna be out. Like that was what 3 weeks ago. You're looking at maybe 6 weeks minimum, and then he's gonna like take time to. That's for it to heal, and you're looking at like ramping him up to 5-on-5 practices and then game time. So like I'm looking at him for coming back February maybe. But yeah, I can see a deal like that going through. I mean, the one weakness of the Pacers roster is their power forward. The Knicks, in theory, you could say, well, who's going to back up Randall? I think they might go to that RJ at the 4 lineup. And I think whoever they want back, I think they will want Duarte back. we know how they valued Duarte in the draft last year. They tried to move up to get him last year, and he had a solid rookie season.
When he's
But
not in the hospital.
true, he only played 55 games. But at the same time, solid rookie season.
It's always them niggas from the Pacers, man. Brogdon, this nigga. Niggas love the hospital in Indiana. Like, what's so good about the hospital in Indiana? Either that or their medical staff sucks.
I mean, probably that too. But ultimately speaking, like he's not really
He's
in
always
the
just old. He's like 35. What is he?
20. He's 25. And Obi is 24.
Yeah, he's old.
25 is old now. Like, damn, bro. Shit.
You call Obi a geezer? Like, come on. I can't call Chris Duarte old, but you can call Obi Toppin like catching social security checks.
Absolutely. Anyway, I can see it happening. I think the Knicks' ideal trade would be like Duarte and like the Boston first for Obi. He's not really in the rotation for Indiana right now. Plus, they have Mathurin. Nemhard has been really good for them. They have Buddy Hield, of course, and then they have 2 picks next year, so he might be getting pushed out. I think the Knicks might be thinking if we can like reset the asset because Chris Duarte has 1 more year on his contract, more than Obi, and ideally he's 6'6". He shoots the 3 decently well, and he gives you that bit of like passing wing that they want. So I could see that happening. I don't know how likely it'll be in season, but I can see that happening.
Pacers actually have been going super small, which is so weird because like
Yeah.
they want to get Nemhard all those minutes and stuff, and Neesmith plays, so they put Neesmith at the 4, which is weird, which we saw in our game versus them, and then off the bench they play like 3 guards.
Yeah, like they are small and they need size, and Obi Toppin represents for them is probably like a big dude who can run the court. Not to mention putting him next to Halliburton and with his floor space, he's probably like Miles Turner. They're probably thinking that like they can
unlock the most optimized version of Obi, which they probably can because it's probably the best situation, which we have not provided for him.
Yes, I will agree with that. So I can see that happening. I can see that happening. I would be okay with it.
All the Obi truthers would definitely be vindicated once they see how he performs over there. If that happens, though, I will say that.
But at the same time, like another pick in this draft, which gives you 3 to play around with, which means that maybe you could trade 1 if you want like an upgrade somewhere, or if you try to like put 2 in the star package and then keep 1 still. So they have options, and plus it gives you like a really good look at that RJ at the 4 unit. I do want to see that in like extended run. So it's a thought. I wouldn't hate it if it happened. If it didn't happen, I feel like I'd be okay with it. So either way, I'm fine.
We will see as trade deadline approaches within the next month and a half or so as we head into the new year. Let's see. Ace Bouchard says Grimes on ball shot creation gets pretty exposed without RJ and JB available. Yeah, I mean that's what's gonna happen. I mean, he is less shielded, so he has to do much more now. And, it doesn't look as great as it did in summer league because competition as well as just like general fatigue of things will wear in over time. But yeah, I mean, it's something that I think he's going to continue to gradually work on. It's going to be something that isn't that much of an issue, especially if like Grimes and not Grimes, but RJ and JB aren't missing as much time as they are right now. I mean, what happened to I mean, JB is like someone that's like never hurt really, so like for him to be out this long is not the usual. And for RJ, that was like a freak. I don't know what the hell is on Luka's fingers, but they're definitely not fingernails because they said they could see the tendon on RJ's finger, which is absolutely gross.
Wild. What?
And like Luka has talons apparently, and that's what he scratched RJ with. So like
Yeah,
again, a freak injury by RJ, and for JB to miss this time is something that's not gonna happen often. So Grimes, the on ball shot creation, I don't think it's gonna be that much of an issue going forward. I mean, he's gonna do what he needs to do when he needs to do it, when those guys are back. But his role is gonna be pretty cut and cut and dry. Um and pretty much what we saw like during the win streak too.
yeah. Um, yeah, he's just not going to be that level creator yet. Maybe give him a year. We'll see how it happens. Maybe a similarly like to like Desmond Bain or so. But right now he's in the role where he should be, and he's fine with that.
Yeah. Jordan Bob, I think this is in accordance to what we were saying about Deuce. He said for players who don't play heavy minutes very often, sometimes when their minutes go up very significantly, it can have bad effects on their game and health. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that could definitely be what we're seeing with Deuce right now. Just like the adjustment level, or the adjustment period, um, is something that's becoming very rapid for him from not being in the rotation to being in the rotation to now getting like a sudden like minute spike. It's a very like sharp progression, a very steep progression for a player to have in their second year. So, I'm not gonna be too hard on Deuce in terms of like the what he's doing in his time on the court right now. But yeah, I will just give my general comments on what I do see though.
Yeah, I just like it's gonna be rough for him, and I feel like he's kind of the most valuable one in the starting lineup because of his defense. Because like quickly is used to like getting extended minutes. Deuce really isn't. Like he's just used to getting minutes now. So like going from like okay you're playing like 15 minutes a night, 20 minutes a night to I need you to play 46. That's a lot for any player to handle, let alone a second year player who just got into the rotation recently.
Yeah. I mean, he's used to like just like lollygagging his way to 30 in the G League. So like
Yeah,
there's also that.
definitely a lot of change for him, but I do think he'll be okay to like handle himself. So
Yeah. Um Vivek says Julius gonna get that all-star nod if we stay above 500 by the week of MLK Day. Most
yeah,
likely.
yeah, I think he
Most
does.
likely. I wonder if
I think
Jalen
he's
Brunson's bid kind of gets a little bump down because of the
it might
injury.
be over. Unless he goes on like an absolute heater. Like usually January is like where you kind of separate the pack. Um, I think like he's maybe battling with like Sabonis, not Sabonis, Adebayo, but like I think he's been better than Bam, and Jimmy is like just okay. Like Jimmy's been good, but like
He's been in and out of the Heat lineup.
yeah, and he's not even playing right now. So like, wouldn't surprise me if Julius is not over just for being healthy.
Might just be the case.
And we'll
Uh,
take it. We'll take it.
Jordan Bub asks, what wing should we be looking at the short term to help the bench, and which wing should we be looking at in the draft? Okay.
I mean, Crystal Ortiz is your answer. If they're looking to move him, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. Crystal Orte, I think someone like Amir Coffee could be useful. If you want your more luxury options, like maybe Austin Reeves, if the Lakers feel like playing ball. Uh, yeah, I think there are wings that can help Lonnie Walker be in that conversation as well. I think they just need somebody who can realistically like come in, not take minutes from Deuce, and give scoring options. And if realistically, if they don't feel like they can make a deal, then you put Fournier back in the lineup for 15 minutes a night. And I think that's fine. He hits like 2, 3 threes, and then you keep that like that's his role. Just come off the bench and be a gunner, and that lineup needs the offense. So
Oh my gosh, Eric Gordon. They asked Eric Gordon about the Rockets' improvement from when the season started. He said there's no improvement.
dog, that is him saying I want to be traded.
Dog, he always has the most like blank, like I hate being here stares like ever. Every time they interview him.
Dude, I mean, you gotta hate being there. Like you basically think you got to be shipped off the deadline like 2 years in a row, and then they're holding out because they want a first round pick, and they're not gonna get a first round pick
Because you absolutely stink.
like, and not even that he stinks. It's the fact that like nobody's trading a first round pick for him.
Yeah, like no one's who's trading a first round pick for Eric Gordon. Come on.
Yeah, like, he's not even bad. He had a decent game tonight. But like, I
Yo,
just
I
like
know he's fast, yo. Like James Harden and Chris Paul and Clint Capella, they all dipped, and he's still there. He's
I,
still there.
I would be pissed too. Especially after the season he had last year, which like he was shooting 42% from three, and like he still ain't get traded.
Yeah.
Like teams just don't want to like aren't gonna trade heaven and earth for a guy like that. So
If he's still there after this trade, then like he'll have to retire or something. Because like, bro, you're not leaving Houston, dog.
I think this is the last year of his
Oh,
contract.
it is?
Yeah, because
I was
they're
about
gonna
to
not,
say, yo, if he's still on a contract for another year, bro, just gonna retire.
unless they're gonna like guarantee all of his money. His last year's not guaranteed completely.
Oh, nah, they wouldn't do that to him. That would be grimy.
I hope not.
That would be
But
so
like,
messed up.
I mean, we heard him as like a Knicks trade. We heard him as like a Knicks trade target for like a little bit. But yeah, like I don't. He's fine. Like he plays his role. Like he hit 2 threes. Was 5 for 10 from the field tonight. Uh, he's fine. Like he's just not a first round pick level of
Worth,
fine.
yeah.
Like if fucking Alec Burks when he was on his heater did not get like wasn't worth a first round pick, then Eric Gordon's not worth a first round pick, dude. I'm sorry.
Yo, speaking of Alec Burks, man, that boy is been cooking lately.
First team all parlay respecter. Clap it up for AB. That boy.
He's been balling.
That boy. Make sure that everybody he feeds.
He had a game the other day where he went like 10 for 10 from the field or something like that.
Yeah, he was hooping.
I mean, today, yikes, 12 points on 13 shots.
Dog, he's shooting 45% from three.
He's insane.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Someone's going to trade for him and probably Bogdanovich at the deadline.
Dude, I'm telling you, if he's not traded at the deadline, he's coming back next year. I guarantee that
he would be welcomed back with open arms in New York City.
Son, I miss man, dude. I miss the man. Like the bench could use him desperately. Like the fact that he's like 64.
He is the type of wing scorer that we need right now. Like,
yeah, decent defender who can take off the dribble threes and be decent enough on defense. That's literally what they need, and who could pass. Like that's what they need, and he would give that. The fact that he was like actually decent when he was starting at point guard, for whatever reason, like
he was
that
decent, but like
it
was not what we needed.
Yeah, it was not what we needed, but like he's
like
still.
Emmanuel Quickly was right there, and like here, Emmanuel Quickly is doing everything that he could have done last year if we used him to start.
Like the fact that he was still like a positive, he graded out as a positive, despite the fact he was starting at fucking point guard and playing like 35 minutes a night. I will like I know his time ended wrong, but like Alec Burks will forever have my respect for that because like he should not have made that work, and somehow he did. But yeah, like boy's been hooping. Shout out to Alec Burks.
Alec Burks
once a Nick, always a Nick. J.R. Smith with the church shoes. But yeah, like back to it. And in the draft, Bryce Sensabaugh is nice. I really like Sensabaugh for this team. I like Jet Howard. I wouldn't be surprised if they looked at Chris Murray. I feel like Chris Murray is the quintessential boring ass ball parent pick. Like his brother's in the NBA. The dude gets buckets. Like he plays like he literally fits Walt Perrin to a T. He's older, brothers in the NBA, really good at just doing everything and like hyper efficient. Like I feel like Chris Murray to the Knicks feels like a lock to me. Like that's as closest thing as a lock. Like aside from Wemby and Scoot going 1-2, Chris Murray to the Knicks just feels so like perfect. I don't know, like I really think just because like he overperforms at like a mid-major, it just feels right. But yeah, I like Jet Howard. I like Dariq Whitehead if he drops. I wouldn't be against them getting someone like Jared Walsh. I like Strother as well. So yeah, there's a lot of options to go with.
All names that I will be looking for when
when March.
March Madness rolls
Yes.
around, because that is the only time I will be tuning in to any type of college
Yeah.
sport. That is the only time I watch college sports in detail. March Madness and like
Also, they
the tournaments before that happen.
also to add, they can't cheer for Alec Burks this season because they traded him at the start of the season, and you can't reacquire a player that you traded. So no Alec Burks to the next this season. Otherwise, it probably would have happened by now.
Oh, probably, yeah. Jordan Bub asked, how do you think we will fare against the Suns if Jalen Brunson is back and D Book is not?
Well,
Um,
D Book won't be back. D Book's
yeah,
out
D
for the
Book is
next
not gonna be. He's gonna be out for
4 weeks minimum.
weeks. Yikes. But I mean, yeah, I like our chances. I mean, the Suns, they haven't been anything really spectacular without him. I mean, except for versus the Nuggets, like that was the only game that like they really looked. I mean, also versus the Grizzlies, but like the Grizzlies have been faltering against most of the West this year, anyways. So it's like,
Talk shit, get hit.
yeah. But I mean, I like our chances. I mean, if JB's there and we actually come to play on both sides of the ball, I think that we have a fair chance of beating them. I mean, the Raptors beat them the other day for goodness sake. Like, we can win.
Yeah, like their defense has been very not their defense, their offense has been very suspect without Booker.
Yes. They don't have a
Uh
go-to guy really.
like DeAndre Ayton went 2 for 10.
Against a team with no centers, basically.
That should show you how bad their offense has been. Like,
I mean, they had Dwayne Washington go off for them the other day against the Grizzlies, and that was their Devin Booker impersonation for the day that day.
yeah, so like it really kind of feels like they're looking for who could give us Devin Booker's production.
Like
And
one day it's Landry Shamet, one day it's Mikal Bridges, one day it's Dwayne Washington. Like they just pick a guy and hope that he does it for them that day.
yeah, but like them losing to the Wizards and then losing to Toronto gives me more confidence. I hope
For
that
sure.
they're. I think there's a chance for them to win that game. So
Although we are at home and we do have a shit home whistle, and we also like play like pussies at home too. So there's that.
true, and it will be a 3 o'clock game.
Oh wow, yeah, that can get very ugly.
Yeah, it could. Like I feel like we could either win by 15 or we could lose by like 25. I don't think that's gonna be. I don't think that game's not gonna be close either way. Like it's either gonna be a blowout or it's gonna be a thrashing.
Nah. There's always a possibility for a shootout. The Knicks, no matter who they play, there's always a chance that there could be a shootout. Always.
I can see it.
Because like even to begin this Rockets game, it was a shootout basically. Like Rockets came out gunning, and we tried to match them. We couldn't hit threes though. Like we were like what 3 for 17 from three at one point in the game. Like it was ugly. It was ugly tonight. But then we got back on our shit, and we held them to like what 30% from three and 37% from the field for like the rest of the game at one point. Like, yeah.
Ugly hoops, the way we like it. But yeah, I think they can win that game. It won't be pretty either way, though. I think.
Yeah, I mean, because like without Devin Booker, like we said, like the Suns, they're basically like searching for who can be Devin Booker for the day.
Yeah.
Every game, and that's not a consistent game plan. But yeah. JL says Rockets a funny team. They just do anything on the court. I mean, some of the. I mean, I don't know how. God bless Rockets fans. Whoever's a Rockets fan and watches that team nightly, dedicatedly, like God bless your soul.
Dude, that team is just the vibes aren't even that good. That team is just like they play it pickup. All 5 of them are playing pickup.
They are. And today they had Boban out there, and they were just like trying to like force feed Boban at moments to like get some type of offensive production, because there was a point where they didn't hit any field goals for like I want to say like 6 or 7 minutes straight.
It was 7.5 minutes, nearly 8.
7.5 minutes, dog. And
it wasn't even clamps. It was just the Knicks kind of just like playing decent defense, and they just couldn't hit anything.
And they just like they weren't moving the ball like sharply enough around the court to like even get a half decent look. And yeah, I mean like Jalen Green was like launching, KPJ launching, Jabari Smith, like all these guys like. and they couldn't get anything to go in the paint either. Like, it was rough for them. But I mean, hey, they got Jalen Green, they got KPJ, I guess, and like that's a decent start, I guess. I don't know.
Man, I don't even care about KPJ, bro. Like KPJ is just
They're like forcing him to be a point guard. I mean, whatever. I mean,
there's nobody I care about on that Rockets team. Like I don't. Like KPJ had 23, 10, and 8, and I could care less.
10 and 8. Wow, he couldn't get 10 and 8 the other day when I had him for 8 rebounds and 8 assists. That's crazy.
Dude, like I do not care about KPJ. I don't care about Jalen Green. Like there's nobody in this team where I'm like, oh yeah, man, like they're him. I don't care.
Damn, not even Jalen Green.
No, I
The
don't care
scoring's
about
not
him.
moving you.
The scoring comes in like one game he hits 30, and then the next game he puts up like stinkers.
Yeah, that's why he's really rough to bet on.
Like when the Jalen Green parlay hits, you be like thanking the Lord, and it make you not want to bet for like the next 2 months because like you got to be real lucky to get a good Jalen Green parlay. But like you could clearly see the flashes, but like I just
doesn't put it together consistently enough.
And like he's efficient because like he gets to the rim and he gets to the line and stuff like that. So like he's decently efficient. So 54 shooting isn't bad, but like the defense is pitiful. Maybe a year 3 leap happens, but like I don't see him as much more than like sassy.
Well, I mean, they're just gonna be another young team next year because like they're obviously gonna have another high lotto pick, and the team isn't really getting that significantly older. Like they're all like almost all their team is younger than me. Like,
yeah, we feeling mad old watching their team.
I feel mad old watching the Rockets. I'm like,
I'll be
like their oldest guy on the court right now is like what 22 years old. Like, come on.
Yeah, bro. You be looking at that
I'm
entire
about to be 24 in a couple weeks. Like, what are y'all doing?
Damn, you cooked. Oh shit. Said that out loud? Crazy, bro. How that social security treating you?
Letting people know my age on the stream. Yep.
Oh, I can't even say shit.
I'm that old. I'm that old. Yeah.
I'm turning 24 too. Just 6 months later.
Yeah. Rub it in. Jordan Bub asks though, how do we think the Knicks will do in the next 10 games? What do you think their record will be after the 10 game stretch? So the next 10 games, he says, are Phoenix, San Antonio, Toronto, Milwaukee, Indiana, Washington, Detroit, Toronto, back-to-back, Washington, Atlanta.
Not predicting any games. Nope. This team
is too like volatile to like predict that far ahead.
Son, we had an 8-game winning streak and then a 5-game losing streak to take us back to 500. You're telling me to predict the next 10 games?
The next 10 games could go any way, bro. We could lose all 10. We could lose all 10 legitimately. Like, there's a way. There is a way.
Okay. Relax.
You're telling me to relax after I just seen the way we lost that Mavericks game?
Son.
And you're telling me 10 straight is not impossible?
Okay, bro. We're not that bad, okay?
We're not that bad, but we're that unlucky. We've been that unlucky before.
Okay, if we lost like 4 straight and then won like 3 straight and then lost like the next 2 or the next 3, I'd be like, all right, I get you. But like, we was literally 4 games above 500, chilling, coasting.
No, you know what happened? We started getting ahead of ourselves and predicting, can this get to like, can we get to the end of December and like win the whole thing? Like, we started saying shit like that.
Dog, we was talking about 10. We was like 10-game win streak
heading into Christmas. We was like, can we win out December? Like,
I was flexing. I was like, all right, fine, whatever, bro. I know we lost a game in Dallas. It's cool. I'm gonna go spend this check. I'm gonna go get these seats. I'm gonna watch them win in person. Nah, like, I'm not predicting nothing about this team.
Hell no.
I'm not predicting anything. And that's me being a coward, and I'll admit that. Because this team...
It's like being a coward. It's like being like cautiously optimistic about this team because like they've shown they've been so volatile. Like the way they started off the season, then the 8-game win streak, and then losing those 5 in the way that we lost them. Insanity.
So
like I literally thought like
that was the worst part.
All heartbreakers and like all in like such weird ways. Like Siakam going off for 52. Like, what the hell was that?
Like Siakam 52, DeRozan
buzzer beater, basically.
Joel Embiid's like whistle, and then Luka Doncic.
Not even that. It was Georges Niang going off in the 4th quarter because we don't know how to play drop coverage anymore. Like, dudes just stopped playing drop coverage the right way, and Georges Niang lit us up for like what 4 threes in the fourth quarter,
And then it was
and then Luca gets like he
the
gets like the
luckiest.
blessing of God,
We
blessing
talked
of God Himself.
like me and Jeff talked about it. Like if Christian Wood doesn't make that three, they like walk it up the court. But like he hits a rainbow three
And
and
now
then
they feel
miss
motivated, like let's press up, and then they get that blessing of a what you call it, the jump ball that shouldn't
the
have been
jump
called a
ball,
jump
the
ball.
ball,
But yeah, I mean, like they literally had the blessing of God bless them,
and
hand them that win,
then
and then
I
we
was in
go
the
into San
crowd.
Antonio, and they get embarrassed in front of you. And yeah, I mean, 5 straight insane games.
Like all by single digits. Most of them, like all of them, were heartbreakers.
Yeah, no
Like
thrashings, no beatdowns, nothing of the sort.
the net rating went up. Like so, they're still a top 10 offense, a top 10 defense. It's nuts.
I don't understand it. But yeah, I mean, asking us to predict the next 10 games, I'll hold off on that. I'll predict I won't even predict the next game, but I'll just say I hope that we are able to keep the Suns in check where like it's not a Landry Shamet or Damian Lee going off for like 7 threes game. And that's what like kills us in MSG because like I could very much see either of them going off
Dog.
because I've seen them go off when Devin Booker's not playing before. So
All right, do you want to play who will get his game off?
oh my gosh. Oh man, let me see if there's anyone that has a narrative versus us in this game because like
All right. McCall Bridges always.
oh my gosh, it's like so prime for him. He's been struggling too. Ooh, for
Uh,
him to go into MSG versus the team that should have drafted him because
mm-hmm.
Kevin Knox had a good one-on-one versus him.
Yep.
I mean, he's picked it up. I mean, he had 21 versus the Raptors. And he had 17 versus the Wizards off 6 of 15 shooting. But before that, he was really struggling, having a rough go of it. Yeah. He's primed to go off versus us.
I'm looking at Jock Landale. I got my eyes set on Chris Paul gonna get his game off because it's Chris Paul, so I'm not even worried about that.
We just lucky. Ooh, we lucky Cameron Johnson not here, bro.
Cameron Johnson was here. I wouldn't even watch the game, bro. I would be like, you know what, you got it. That's a loss.
Dwayne Washington could probably get his game off.
I feel like Jock Landale might give us like 10 and 7. I can see that happen. I can see, Dwayne Washington, like you said. Damian Lee feel like
I'm just looking for dudes who's gonna go off spraying from 3. So that's like Damian Lee, Landry Shamet,
5 threes.
Dwayne Washington Jr., Mikal Bridges, all of them. I'm looking at all 4 of them. Any dude that could spray is gonna give us buckets in MSG, and anyone that could get like they way with the whistle, like Chris Paul with some prime foul bait in the fourth quarter, I could see that happening too, man. So if any of this happens, yo, just know,
Yep.
We told you. So like, don't be surprised when it happens. Like I'm on the timeline. I'm like, I'm gonna just throw up this emoji. Just I don't know what to say.
We can open the post game just doing this. Like
yeah, I'm just gonna be like, we said like this was gonna happen. Like
but
don't be shocked.
I'm expecting some got their game off candidates in that game. So
yeah,
it wouldn't surprise me. But yeah.
Hawkeye 420. He says, thank God they ended the year with a dub. All my parlays failed, but this one was worth it. I am with you right there, man. If you look on my page, the last bit of media I posted, if you see that parlay, you look at the odds. If you just look at the odds, you will be crushed when you see how I lost.
He was about to eat for a decade.
I was about to be good. I was about to be Gucci.
He was about to eat and then quickly couldn't get a rebound.
They took one of his rebounds away, bro. I'm sick. You can hear it in my voice. I'm sick. I'm sick. They took one of his rebounds away. But yeah, I mean, it was worth it. It was worth it. He was.
It makes me want to put back on the cape. I'm not even gonna lie. That makes me want to put back on the cape. I shouldn't. I really shouldn't. But damn.
It was a rough one.
maybe just one. Maybe just one.
JL says Alec Burks game one masterclass versus Atlanta was so special. Can't believe we wasted it. Oh man, don't even remind me of that, bro. I rewatch it like every so often.
And then cut it off at the last
I
minute.
cut it off right before the Bogdanovich BS.
That game
I
won't.
cut it
That game was really perfect until it wasn't, dog. RJ poster,
quickly
Bert,
pull up three in transition.
yeah, and the crowd was like, he started jumping. The crowd is hype. Obi getting his arms up in the air. It was going so good. And then I cut it off, and they win it in my head. And they're up 2-0 going into the game 3. Whatever. We're gonna get back. It's okay. That's why the Hawks suck.
Yes. JL says the 5-game losing streak was painful because none of the teams we played were really good outside of the Sixers. Yeah, I mean, pretty much like that's the part of the reason why we thought going into Christmas we can go on like a 10-game win streak, and that's why we felt confident, like ending off December, like we can win out December. Like that's part of the reason why we were so confident at that point, because like we were looking at these teams, we're like, which team is really gonna beat us? Like the Sixers, they could put up a fight, but like as you saw in that game, we were like blow for blow with the Sixers until that fourth quarter happened.
Yep.
They
were like, and that's.
And in every other game, we were legit in them. Like,
yep.
What was the first game of the losing streak?
What the Raptors game?
It was the Raptors game. We were in that game. Siakam doesn't go off for 52, or if Grimes is there to like slow down Fred VanVleet, we probably win that one. Bulls game, we lose because DeRozan gets like he hits.
If we just hit, Jalen Brunson misses 2 free throws. Dog.
He missed 2. Yep, he missed 2 free throws.
And Grimes missed 2 free throws. If we hit our free throws, we win that game.
We win that game.
Same thing. Same
Christmas,
thing
we lose by 7. We're in that game for most of it. We don't. If Julius just like gets out on Georges Niang's threes and like puts up a better contest, who knows what happens there? If he also doesn't sub out quickly, because Quickly was doing a great job of like recovering on those Georges Niang like pop outs on those threes. So if like he doesn't do that, like who knows what happens there? Mavs game, don't even want to speak on that. I will never speak on that game ever again in my life.
Nope.
That game is like forever like erased from my memory.
I don't care.
I was sick too, so like I barely remember it anyways. So that's the benefit of being sick during that.
I don't care how historic it was. I never want to hear about that game again. Like that game's gonna be like in his highlight reel for his Hall of Fame speech. I don't care.
Yeah, and I mean the Spurs game, like it was ugly, but like we still put up 115 with like 2 of our top 3 guys missing. So like if those guys are if our team is healthy for like at least the last 2 games, the losing streak is probably over in Dallas, honestly.
Yeah, like they probably win they're probably on a 3-game winning streak right now.
Yeah, probably. So that's why we thought like
that's why it sucks.
Yeah, that's why like JL saying that's why it was painful, because none of the teams are like really elite teams. Like we didn't play the Bucks, we didn't play the Celtics, we didn't play the Pelicans, we didn't play like Brooklyn, who always kicks our ass. Like we didn't play any of these teams, so like it was really painful to like lose all these games that were very winnable.
And like again, they're still a top 10 offense, a top 10 defense, and have a top 10 net rating. Like,
and then those wins could have probably propelled us up to the standings. Because I mean, we win more of those games, we probably up around like 4 or 5 right now, to be honest.
Yeah, and we like right there in this. We don't drop it a 6th. We're right now 7th.
Which stinks because we're in the play-in, and no one wants to be in the play-in.
We're in the play-in, and we're in the play-in at home. That's the worst part. But if we got to be 8. If we could be in the play-in, we need to be 8, so we can be on the road.
Yeah, we can't be a home team in play-in, dude. This team is gonna fold. They're gonna fold. I think we're gonna end things off with this because it is New Year's Eve and everyone should be spending time with at least family or doing something else other than talking about the Knicks on New Year's Eve. We're gonna end it with JL's last comment here. Y'all remember that Suns game from the We Here year when CP3 had a fake ass fourth quarter and hit some fake ass end of the shot clock 3. I remember that all too well because that was a game that like we always get our win streaks ended on some fake BS, yo.
So, bro, CP3 was telling us, get out of here. Like, that was the Leon Rose revenge game. that was like you should have traded for me, which I don't know why he was like on the best team in the West, but like, man, it was. And plus, like they came out that game. They came that game that they started. The way they started, they were hooping. Like people was hitting shots. He had that real good Nerlens dunk. Even Elfrid Payton was doing his thing, and then it just came out of nowhere and they just lost it. I'm still mad about that game, though. That season has so many games I'm still mad about, even with the 41 wins.
Yeah, it probably should have been more. As is the case, a
Should have been
bunch
like
of as the case as we're talking about the Knicks right now, as like we shouldn't have been on this losing streak as bad as it was. But I mean, here we are. We play the Suns on is it Monday? I can't even tell the days
Monday.
anymore because
Monday.
I've been at home so long, not at work anymore. But yeah, we play the Suns on Monday. That is an afternoon game.
Yep. 3
Oh,
o'clock,
oh my gosh.
which is
Why
crazy.
are we the only afternoon game? The NBA be setting us up, yo.
If it was like Martin
Every
Luther
other
King Day,
game
I
is like
get it. But
7, but like why are we at 3?
on the day after New Year's, no less. If it was a New Year's game, I understand it. But like, that's
Yeah.
scary, man.
But anyways, yeah. I mean, hopefully Jalen Brunson is back. We'll be at home. We know RJ most likely won't be back. So we'll at least get one member back of the mid three. And hopefully we can take advantage of a Suns team that's missing their best player. And we can actually win at home for once. That would be great to like not fold at home and to actually make free throws. And I think those are going to be the keys to the game. Making free throws, and getting up on those shooters.
Yep.
We will catch you guys after that game on Monday afternoon, I guess. Weird as hell. But anyways, shout out to everyone that's been supporting us this year, as we close out the year. Shout out to everyone that's been supporting the Strickland YouTube channel, supporting the post game show. As we've moved this to audio, it could be a little more easier to do it on audio. So shout out to everyone that's been tuning into the YouTube videos, leaving comments, leaving likes, subscribing, all that good stuff. Keep it up as we move into the new year, as we are still striving for that goal of 1K subs. All that, leaving a comment, leaving a like, all that stuff, it definitely helps us out a ton. So continue to do that great stuff. As always, links to everything Strickland related is in the description. That is links to the site, merch, Patreon, and Twitter. We also are on Instagram at thestrict.land. All great ways to support us and follow our journey, as you are all a part of that. So yeah, thank you to all of you. And yeah, we'll be back on Tuesday or Monday. Actually, I'm losing it, but yeah, we'll be back on Monday. Make sure y'all tune in for that. Peace.